Whoa! There was a person just standing there. You just caught that.
You can't explain everything that happens here. It does have a life of its own.
This place was known as the gates to hell.
Oh, wow. This way to hell. That is amazing. There's someone in that corner. I'm not sleeping up here.
Crypt peepers, welcome to Wicklow Jail in Ireland. This is a place I'm really intrigued to investigate because of the history. The history here is pure freaking evil. In the past, this place has just been horrible. And I know in the paranormal, places of great sadness, trauma, and death especially occurred here, tend to be fairly active.
There's also a full-on dungeon here. I guess, honestly, it's like a torture dungeon. It is insane, some of the stuff that happened down there. So I'm really interested to go down there and explore that and see if some of those really harsh punishments have left their mark in time and maybe resulted in some residual haunts or some intelligent haunts.
We are spending the entire night. I have to sleep here and I have a few ideas about where Jared and I will each have to sleep, and it is going to be terrifying.
Not only is this place super creepy and apparently super haunted, there is nowhere comfortable to sleep. We're either going to be sleeping on a hard rock floor or a hard wooden bed frame. So if you like this video and you appreciate what we do, please hit like, please leave a comment, please tell us in the live chat if you're in the premiere how much you appreciate us coming here for you guys, because it's going to be a rough night.
Welcome to Wicklow Jail, also known as the Gates to Hell. With this site having held a jail since the early 1700s, there is much history to explore here. Yet much of that history is dark in nature, with disease, executions, punishment, and death having soaked the stone walls of this building.
So Wicklow Jail was built in 1702 and it closed in 1924. The jail was built in a time where Ireland was under British rule. It was they call it penal times. A lot of the prisoners were here for speaking Irish because they were not allowed to speak their own language. One of our oldest prisoners was a 90-plus-year-old woman who didn't pay her taxes. Another one was a Catholic priest who refused to stop preaching his religion because Catholicism was not allowed at the time. Especially during the famine, when people were hungry and starving, the leader of the family might have decided to commit a crime on purpose to get arrested, and him and his family come in here because they would get at least one meal a day and a roof over their heads. Originally, the jail was built and men, women and children were all thrown in here together. They weren't separated. The holding cell would have held upwards of 100 people. Now, the holding cell was just until there was more room in the jail to put people down into the cells. Originally, there would have been no glass in the windows. There would have been no sanitation, no heat. What there was were plenty of vermin, which caused disease. So they called it at the time jail fever. Disease was rampant. Families got very ill. Children died. A number of things could have happened to a prisoner while they were in here. They could have been given their release papers, and on the way out, the jailer would have been waiting for them because it was corrupt. So the jailer would have said, yes, you can get released, but you have to pay me on the way out. So if you don't have money, your family might have money or a piece of jewelry, and that will be your payment, you can get out. So those were the lucky people that got out. Others were sent on ships, coffin ships, across to Australia, New Zealand, Tasmania. That wouldn't have been very pleasant either. There were hangings here. That was the other thing that might have happened to them if they didn't get sent off to Australia. At the front of the jail, there was a door at the top with a beam hanging out. So they had a rope placed around their necks. The door opened and given a kick off the top of the jail, and they were hung. When the bodies were hung and left outside, don't forget it was at a time where there really wasn't much in the way of entertainment. It was a very different time, and people in the surrounding towns did come into Wicklow to view the hangings. Bodies were left hanging, and crows and hawks and birds would fly down and eat upon those bodies. A lot of the bodies were dumped into the river locally here, and the fishermen did make a formal complaint explaining that they didn't like pulling up the nets because of their bodies in the nets. Also, they didn't really want to eat the fish that was eaten off the bodies. The tread wheel is it's like a big rolling device, and it had wooden steps on it, and they would have stepped on it. It rotated 48 times in 1 minute, and you could have been on there for an hour, you could have been on there for 2 hours. It didn't grind grain or bring up water. It was literally punishment. Other punishments were whipping, cat o' nine tails, in the shackles in the dungeon, solitary confinement. If you were down in the dungeon, you might have seen there's a big cement tub. Hot coal was shoveled underneath to keep the water hot. But we do know that some of the punishment was to keep the water as hot as possible and basically scald them.
Carrying the burden of such a dark past has left a mark on this site, with paranormal occurrences being commonplace and ranging from full-bodied apparitions to disembodied voices, poltergeist activity, and even physical touch.
Well, I can tell you, after working here a number of years, that you can't explain everything that happens here. It does have a life of its own. You can come in some days and it seems almost cathedral-like, almost like a church. It's calm, it's mellow, it's almost spiritual. And then you can come in another day and there's an electric buzz around the place. The hairs on your back, on your arms will stand up, and you just feel this vibration through the jail. And that's usually days that we start feeling things differently in here. Maybe we see more shadow figures, things catch you at the corner of your eye. Down in the dungeon, and I've heard it myself, you hear shuffling of feet and sound like they're in shackles. I've heard a growl. One time as I was closing up the jail, at the end of the day, nobody else is in here. It's just the two of us. As we're leaving, I look out over the top and I seen something in the corner of my eye walk into a cell. And I said, I think maybe somebody's down there. So he went down the steps, he took a look in, and it's in the priest's cell, Father McPhee, and there was nothing there. I've done it many times where I just yell out, anybody there? Anybody want to say anything? And it's always nothing. And I said it that time, and we heard the loudest growl. It was just a growl coming from the dungeon, but you can almost feel the vibrations through the jail. The caretaker turned around to look at me to say, did you hear that? But I was already at the front door at that stage. I had ran as fast as I could. I wasn't expecting to hear anything back in return. We had a man actually from Australia not so long ago, about a year ago. He was a little overwhelmed, and he said, the sound of that baby crying, it's too much all the time. I said, there isn't a baby crying in there, and his wife hadn't heard the baby crying. And I said, why don't you go inside, get yourself a cup of tea, and then if you want to go back in, you're more than welcome to. So he did. He got himself some lunch. He came back. He says, I want to go back in there. And he came back to me and he said, there's a baby crying the whole time. What I didn't tell him was just a few months before, a man came into me telling me he was hearing a baby crying through the jail. So it's two men on two separate occasions have heard a baby crying. We have some people here that work here that they've done investigations themselves. They have a lot of the tools. One time they were investigating down in the dungeon, 3 of them, and somebody said something funny and they went into fits of laughter. And all of a sudden they heard footsteps storming towards them from above. They stopped laughing to listen. When they stopped laughing, it stopped. Whatever it was not happy that they were enjoying themselves or having a laugh at their expense. Also, there's this mist, this white mist. The woman who was the matron here years ago, seen it a few times. I seen it twice. You feel like you could walk up to it, pick it up and move it. You can see through it, but you feel like you could touch it. And it travels along the walk paths all the way around, up the stairs. It goes around and it goes into a cell. In the gift shop here in the jail, when I first started here, so my back was to where people walking to buy their tickets, and I was sorting through the books, and a hand started at the back of my neck and ran all the way down to the small of my back, and I thought, oh, somebody's trying to get past me. So I turned around to say sorry, and there was nobody there. And I can tell you, it wasn't maybe I felt something. I felt a hand run all the way down. It wasn't something else and I mistook it for it. It was actually, I really felt it.
Tonight, we will investigate the most active areas of this prison and document some of our most compelling evidence to date. We'd even sleep alone within some of the most terrifying areas of the building. So if you're ready to pay a visit to the gates of hell, hit like, subscribe, and let's jump into the investigation.
Wicklow Jail, it's dark. We are rearing ready to go. Actually, are you ready, Jared? This one's so messed up.
I am looking forward to the investigation, but not the sleeping part of it, because it is going to be so uncomfortable here. Like, look at this floor. This has to be worse than Oxford Castle.
I actually think the history here is worse. Like torturous, like very sick, very twisted, very, very dark.
So where should we start? Should we start down below towards the dungeons, or should we head up, or what?
They're all pretty bad. They're all pretty bleak. I don't know.
Right, you lead the way. Come on. It's AmysCrypt after all.
We're now heading downwards within the jail. We're going to start at the bottom and work our way up. GhostTube is rolling, and we're going to walk into a room where a woman's been seen. A ghost woman.
We think.
So just here, this is actually an old laundry, but also schoolhouse. So children here, very common to hear giggling, little pitter patter of feet running around. There's a little girl here. But one of our guides today, Nigel's, also told me he saw a woman wearing a full-on Victorian dress pass by these bars here. So she would have walked around here this way.
Interestingly, he said that she was sort of higher up. So she's either a really tall person, or maybe she was floating, or maybe there used to be a higher floor here or something. I don't know, if the floor's no longer there, would spirits still walk on it?
Don't know how it works, but it's pretty interesting to see something like that.
Did you hear that?
Mm-hmm.
Here, both Jared and I thought we'd heard a strange noise, but upon investigating, it turned out to be from a refrigerator within this location's kitchen, which does have an operational cafe during the day. We did, however, receive the response of Wayne via GhostTube during this time.
So the weird noise, perfectly normal, but as soon as I entered that area, it said Wayne. That's actually my last name. I don't usually like to tell people that, but weird.
Off camera, our tour guide today, Nigel, was saying his name comes up all the time here. We actually had a full-on conversation with him about how spirits know your name, and it's like, is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? Is that a demon, or is it a playful spirit? Like, what does that mean? And obviously we've had my thing with Carol, right?
Better not be my Carol.
Oh, it's your Carol.
Have you been before?
Does that sound British? Like, no, I have not been before.
It was more like, yeah, it was sort of like, have you been before?
No, good sir.
By the way, new voice feature on GhostTube, guys.
New voice feature. We wanted to give the spirits the ability to not just say words, but express them a bit more. This, though, guys, is the main cell block. 3 floors of very, very scary dark cells. And there's mannequins everywhere. God help us.
Oh yeah, there's a sleepy mannequin in here.
And rat mannequins. Really big rat mannequins.
Oh, this room though, this cell, number 6, we do have a story about this one. So we were just outside of the cell block filming a patron and YouTube members only video, which you should check out because we actually go and look at the, what's the name of the torture device, Amy?
It's called a treadwheel.
And so it's the treadwheel where the prisoners had to just continuously walk on it as a form of punishment. After we ran out there, we came in here, and when we got to this room, our phone completely shut down and crashed. And we thought it was weird. It was sort of frustrating because we had to go back outside and redo that whole take again. So we showed them the treadwheel again, we came back in here again, and when we got to this exact same spot, it didn't crash this time, but it said, look. GhostTube said, look.
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 Okay, we're looking.
We're looking. Was it you that touched our phone before?
As if it was sort of telling us, yeah, look, there's something here, there's somebody here. And we were already like, yeah, we know, we know you're here. But there has been activity in this cell. The priest depicted here actually is the oldest prisoner ever in Wicklow Gaol, dating to the 1700s. And he was jailed for just practicing his faith, being Catholic in public. So he was thrown in a cell for that. And it is kind of eerie. People have seen shadows in here.
They've got a mannequin sort of replica of him here. His eyes look really creepy.
What are we supposed to see?
Do you have a message for us?
There is a lot of history to do with the Civil War here as well, between the English and the Irish. So the red coats here represent the English. There are a lot of cells here though, guys, and a lot of stories. The history here is so intense. There's a lot of it as well. This jail saw a lot in its day. It's a typical cell, could be up to 15 people in here at once.
We just got a rock floor, hard wooden bed. Let me see if it's comfortable, hang on. No, it's not. Nope. Nope, not falling for your trick again, Ames. I'm not getting in this time.
You've learned. How do you know? Does it smell different? It smells perfumey.
Yeah, it's interesting because this cell here, cell 14, our guide today was telling us that they had an experience here once where when they first opened this cell door, they were overcome with a smell of like ammonia or something.
But not only that, there was also objects moving within this cell when it was closed off to the public.
Down below on the bottom floor, right before you go down to the dungeon, on the left-hand side, there's a cell. When you open up the flap on the cell, you can look in and there are 3 mannequins representing 3 prisoners huddled around a candle light trying to keep warm. It has 3 mirrored sides and there's an electric light in the middle to represent the candle. And we came back from COVID. We were cleaning everywhere up, getting the place ready to reopen. The light was still working, but it had now totally turned around, was facing the window. So he turned it back around, he fixed it. 2 weeks later, it did the same thing. I opened up the flap to look through the door. Everything was fine, and then all of a sudden it felt really damp and a smell of ammonia, like 100 unwashed bodies or 1,000 cats. It was just so strong that my eyes actually started to water, and I stepped back and I said, oh, didn't like that. I don't know what that was all about, but it was a cell that hadn't been opened for years, and now we had opened it, so.
I actually think there's someone in there. That is so freaking scary. Can you not? Face. Of course, cell 13 has activity, classic.
Yeah, I think a lot of the stories from this room emanate from paranormal groups, right? They claim that this one has a lot of stories. Let's go have a look. Can you tell us about this room? Actually, come in here. Do you smell like hand soap?
Yes. I'm telling you, like, there's like perfumey sort of smell around here.
Like restroom hand soap.
Mm-hmm.
Weird. In this room, but also just outside.
There's someone in there. Maybe you can come out, you can talk to us out here. Heard EVPs, EMF fluctuations, and shadow figures are very, very common here. There's been a man sort of seen coming in and out of cell 9. This one
Transportation
here.
and slavery. Cell 9. Ooh, fun fact about this room. Well, fun fact about this whole place. And this room has all the information about it. People were actually exiled to Australia, right? Like put on a ship and sent to Australia as convicts. The shipwright apparently was hell, but Australia is awesome. So apparently some of the inmates that were sent to Australia would write to their families and encourage them to get arrested so that they could get deported to Australia because it was so awesome. But yes, the shipwright would have been very bad. And I think a lot of people perished on the journey.
Too many mannequins. I just look up and there's like dudes standing up here. I was just about to say, you mentioned hell before. This place was known as the gates to hell. Specifically, what's behind you?
This part gives me the creeps.
Look at the sign as well, Jared.
Oh, wow. This way to hell. Well, yep, that says it all. Let's do the dungeon.
I think there's always something down there. You always feel like something is always there. It's just, it's home to whatever is down there, if you believe in that. I do think some sort of energy is down there.
And here we go, maybe one of the darkest parts here.
Oh my God. It is tight down here.
And What?
Didn't you hear that?
No?
A weird fluttering sound? There's not bats and in here, is there? Surely not.
I don't think so. Someone's on edge.
That's really weird. I swear there was like a loud fluttering sound right by my ear, like...
Hello? This is the most disturbing place here though. They get growling down here, they get shadow people. They've got a room here where they used to boil people alive. It's horrendous down here. In this room, they've got a depiction of a man getting flogged, so whipped across the back. Down here, they've got their solitary confinement cell, pitch black, left alone, no human interaction whatsoever. But this is where they get the growls come from. There's someone really like angry, upset, deranged. Someone bad in here.
Is there someone in here with us now?
That does not fill me with any sort of hope either to walk in and see this. Hello? Geodutch.
How do you say it?
Geodutch.
Hello in Irish. Geodutch.
Anyone want to talk in here? Is it alright that we're in here?
So, which one of us are sleeping in here tonight? Been waiting for it. Flip a coin.
You don't even know if this is the worst place yet though. And I'm not even joking when I say that.
Oh my god. Oh, look at this.
Charming.
So Nigel, our guide today, was saying that he had an experience where he caught a shadow person right here.
He caught it on GhostTube.
Caught it on GhostTube on his camera as well, yeah, using GhostTube. He showed us on his phone, it was really cool. Yeah, this place down here is pretty effed up.
Got weird ear ringing thing in my right ear.
We've had that before. I've had that numerous times. The time that comes to mind for me would be the Blair House.
Had it quite a few times, and it's usually like, I feel like activity happens when that is around, you know.
Can you come up to this device in this lady's hand? You might be able to make it make a noise or react in some way to let us know that you're here. There's also an interesting story.
Whiskey.
What does it say?
Whiskey!
Whiskey.
You want a drink? And whiskey. Isn't
Well,
that
that was a
very
kid.
Irish as well?
Is it? We're in Ireland and the ghost asks for a whiskey, right?
Oh, I wish I had some whiskey to bring you. Yeah, okay, we'll make a deal. I'll bring you some whiskey tomorrow if you can interact with me tonight. Can you do that for me? I hate there were kids kept here. I'm sure they drank as well.
Yeah, that was like a kid's voice, but yeah, I know it's probably not like today where you have to be like 21 or 18 or whatever and have a life.
Tombstone. Okay, they had some really like messed up burial stuff going on here. Maybe they just didn't get the proper burial. That's what they want.
This response was interesting. Wicklow had some very dark methods of disposing of prisoner bodies. Of those who were hanged, parts of them were left on display for birds to feast on, while many others were disposed of by being thrown into the sea until local fishermen began to refuse to fish with so many corpses in the water. Later, bodies would also be buried on the grounds of the jail with some traces of remains discovered during the 90s. So the response of tombstone might indicate an unhappiness with how a person was buried.
My name's Amy and this is Jared. Can we have your name, please? Do you growl at people because you're just annoyed at them? You just want to have a drink and be left alone?
I feel like that has to be a different person though, because why would it be a child like, whiskey? You know what I mean? Like, surely the growl and this child maybe are two different entities.
You don't know that though. Should have bought a drink.
Apparently we're condoning underage drinking now on AmysCrypt.
You don't know that that's a kid. You're assuming that's a kid. Jared, open that hatch.
Lift hatch. Oh, this is going to be good.
Dun, dun, dun. We're now heading back upstairs to explore more of the jail.
I told him.
Okay, just had a woman's voice saying, I told him, as I walked back up the stairs here. What did you tell him? Or maybe who? Who are you referring to? And we're now up on the second level. Is there anyone around that wants to make their presence known? Ugh.
What's wrong?
There's a depiction of a head here and a hawk eating the head. There's like a famous story about the birds eating the decapitated heads of those that they hanged here. It's so gross, I can't. You guys know how I hate birds. Anyone up here? Can you do something to let us know that you're here? Make a noise?
I just thought I heard footsteps on the bottom ground floor. And what's interesting, it didn't sound like boots, it sounded like bare feet. And our guide told us today that they wouldn't have had shoes back then.
Right, so you just heard like shuffling or something?
Yeah, it felt like scuttling on the floor down there, like on those the stone floor.
Here, Jared was sure he'd heard movement down below, yet this wasn't something we were able to capture onto audio from all our cameras on the upper level.
But I think this is the cell where a lot of weird stuff happens, am I correct?
Yeah, Nigel said when he was showing us around today that this was the cell he doesn't like the most, and he doesn't know why. He just says he gets a lot of activity here and it makes him feel very uncomfortable. Number 27.
27. Oh, shh, 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 shh. There's something down here. Shh, shh. Hello?
Did you see the footsteps too?
I think so, yeah. It was faint.
Footsteps, but they're not boots, it's not heavy, it's like, I would say it's like bare feet on stone.
Yeah, very faint. But down there.
Do you reckon his directional mics would have picked that up?
Don't know.
So weird.
I heard movement again then.
Yeah, same, I'm hearing like footsteps like walking up and down these stone things.
Was that you? That wasn't us.
No, look. Stone things. Stone things.
Alright, you stay here. I'm going to look in the cell.
Alright. It's weird because in there's all this furniture against the wall.
Yeah. There's someone in here who wants to talk. That's what I'm here to do right now. Come up to my hand.
How are you feeling in there?
I feel fine. I feel like it has a similar smell to the one downstairs, the perfumey smell.
Right.
I don't feel weird or unsettled or anything in here at the moment, but I mean, of course, feelings like that can change. So we're leaving our night vision camera just down there because we're hearing noises, but we are going up to the next floor. If there's anyone here tonight in Wicklow Jail, can you make a loud noise for us and do something like this?
I heard that.
Thank you. That was a direct response.
Sounds to me like a door, not slamming, but like maybe clicking shut or something, like closing shut. Oh, and we couldn't have an AmysCrypt episode without a restroom, could we? No, of course not.
What you doing in there?
Oh, they've even got little fake shoes.
Imagine if it was a real dude, like a tourist or something.
This may have been a myth, but is it true that people back in the day were shorter, so that's why doors in castles and stuff are shorter? Is that true, or is that just a myth that I made up?
No, I've heard that, and like, look at this door.
Yeah, I mean, granted, Amy's pretty tall, for those that have met Amy. Yeah, it's pretty short. Look, I banged my head on it too. For those of you playing Paranormal Bingo at home, you can cross off the toilet for the episode.
Right, anyone here?
Oh, Ames.
What?
Can I show everyone this?
She told me.
She told me. What did we get when we first came upstairs? I told him.
Is this like two people talking about each other?
It's funny because I get this comment a lot and I often wonder this myself. Sometimes people say, I don't think the spirits are talking to you. I think they're talking amongst themselves.
Yeah, who knows? What did she tell you? Can you tell us? Yeah, so I was going to show you this. So our patrons and YouTube members would have already seen this. They would have seen the real version though, but this is a model of the tread wheel. So there's a full-scale version of this outside, which we've already looked at earlier today. The prisoners would have had to walk on this wheel that would have spanned, and I think they had to do 48 steps per minute or something like that. And they could be on this thing for hours.
Up to 5 hours, and there are stories of children going on this thing alongside full-grown adults, but unfortunately children are a lot smaller, maybe less strong, they couldn't keep up, and it is said that children passed away on that thing because they couldn't keep going and got sort of crushed underneath it.
And another thing about it too is that it wasn't even doing any productive work. It literally was there to punish people. They weren't like grinding wheat or pumping water or anything like that. It literally was just there for them to do something as punishment.
So messed up.
It is.
All right, I want to know what we're talking about up here. What are we discussing? Our next location is an interesting one, but allegedly it is quite active. This is apparently a place women really, really hate, so look forward to that, yay.
The only place I am truly uncomfortable being on my own in the whole jail is upstairs in the attic, which was once the chapel and has been redone for the tourists to look like the Hercules ship that traveled across to Australia with the prisoners. Even the hull, which is quite dark and scary, doesn't bother me as much as upstairs on the ship in the cabin. Very uncomfortable feeling. We have had women come down saying they feel like they're not wanted up there. We had a couple of women who claimed to be mediums and said something was up there and didn't like women. We have had reports of people seeing a man in the corner observing them, an older man. We had a man that used to work here years ago, and he came here as a little boy and did the tour. And he said at the time he had talked to a man up on the ship telling him what it was about and where to go. And when he went down and spoke to the people who were working here at the time, they said there is no man up in the ship.
So guys, this is the attic, but you might notice it looks a little bit like a ship, and we may also have referred to this as a ship earlier in the night, but they've remodeled this now as a ship to imitate one of the ships that would have taken some of the convicts to Australia as their form of punishment.
Yeah, so it's interesting for like the history of where I grew up and where I am from. It's also interesting because this place used to be a church. Specifically, this was the priest's quarters. And people speculate that's why women feel really uncomfortable. But there's been a shadow man sitting here by a lot of people. He is a bit of a watcher, so just stands there and stares at you. Always in the corner as well. Dark, featureless, very, very scary.
Either in that corner there or that corner over there behind our camera. Creepy, huh?
No, I came up here earlier by myself. I was just doing a photo run and I was taking photos in this corner. Didn't realise that's actually where this guy is seen all the time. And I was feeling very off in here. That feeling that you get where it's like, oh, not quite welcome. You know that feeling? Mm. Yeah, and it was like right this area here.
Right here. Can you tell us about who's in this room? How do you feel about us being up here?
Here, right after Jared asks a question, we capture a voice which we did not hear in the moment. This is a peculiar sound anomaly, as it only appears on the audio of the camera Jared is holding, right after he asks, "How do you feel about us being here?" It's almost like he received an answer. To not add bias, I won't tell you what I can hear, so take a listen and comment what you yourself can make out, and then watch to the end of this video to see what we could hear the voice say.
Is there a man up here? Maybe a priest? This place is very interesting. Like, it feels like you're on a ship, and it's cool because that's what its purpose is, to imitate that for the tourists coming through. Yeah, it's interesting that it is so active.
Oh, they've even got, oh no. Oh yeah, Terra Australis. So this is our older maps of Australia, yeah?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Lights.
You want us to turn the lights out?
Did you say lights?
I said lights.
Right. We're night vision now.
If it's a shadow figure seen in here, maybe you need the lights off for them to come out. What about our lights? You don't like them, or you do like them?
You know what? Let me just put my light back on and see if it reacts again. Turning it back on now. I'm going to turn it up even brighter and I'm going to shine in this room.
That's annoying.
Can you let us know that you can see it or that you can see us?
Is it alright that I'm here? I've heard that you don't really like women up here.
Fair.
Prisoner. You think I'm a prisoner? I was deported.
Not likely.
Don't think I'm a prisoner.
They know that you're not deported.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I wasn't deported. I grew up in what do they call it?
Australia.
Australia, Van Diemen's Land.
Van Diemen's Land, is that what it's called?
I think that was specifically Tasmania. I'm not sure.
You know what's really weird? You're like, I'm a prisoner and I was deported. Not likely.
Yeah, it knows.
That's really weird. That was also that's probably our creepiest response yet.
Yeah, it's our responses through GhostTube tonight have been really interesting. So we mentioned earlier that we've got new voices in there. So not only can a word be selected, spirits could potentially choose how they say that word. And it feels like every couple of words that we get, they're said in the same voice, if that makes sense. So it's almost like a certain area we're communicating with the same spirit because it keeps selecting the same voice. Then we move to a new area and we get responses all in a different voice.
Yes, obviously, we're not a prisoner. You're right. We're just here to talk and to have a conversation with you and to understand a little bit more about who you are. So maybe you want to follow us around tonight? Have a cup of tea? Oh wait, that's UK. The Irish drink tea.
Have a cup of whiskey.
Now guys, we're heading to the hull.
So down here is the actual church area, and it's depicting the hold of a ship taking prisoners to Australia. It's pretty bleak, as you'd imagine. You've got people over here, children. It would have been a really hard trip.
This was no 14-hour flight either. I'm assuming this was like months at sea, right?
We thought our flight was bad. I think it was like 14 hours plus another 8 hours or something. It sucked, but I would much prefer that than being on a ship for up to 90 days or more. Remember the Clipper ship in Adelaide, Jared?
Yeah, I do. Pink!
The pink lady.
The pink lady's directly below us.
Directly below. Do you know the pink lady?
What do you know about the pink lady? What does this guy know about the pink lady?
What? Orbs are pretty common in here, and I know they've caught figures on SLS devices as well. And look here, Jared. This would have been life on the ship.
Wow.
I did have a pretty weird experience. Is someone stopping you from speaking, or... this can allow you to speak now. I feel like there was someone trying to get my attention in here earlier, just here. So hours ago, I came in here, I was sort of just sussing out a place where I could do our interview. I was sussing out whether these boxes are actually able to be sat on. So I was standing here. Jared was in the room as well, sort of behind me, and there was a really loud noise right behind me. Play. Yeah, we're here to play. Come on, show us what you got. But something hit the ground really hard right behind me. It was super loud, kind of scared me a bit. I couldn't find what happened here. You won't understand. Look, you can try me. I do my best to understand.
I would describe the noise as well. It was like a metallic, like a music triangle landing on the floor.
And it was so loud as well. It went down with force, but there's nothing here.
Do you want a blessing? Did you hear that? Mm-hmm. My mic was pointing that way too. So this is the cell block we've heard before. It came from in here, I swear.
We weren't able to establish what had made this noise, but I did notice, once we had left the ship hold area, our still camera captured a brief flicker of light. But with our walkthrough complete, we decided to begin our next experiment in the former priest's quarters, right where many people sight a shadow figure. Here I would perform an SD session wearing noise-cancelling headphones and listening to a spirit box while relaying anything I heard come through, while Jared asked questions I could not hear. Additionally, I'd wear GhostTube Lens to digitally scry white noise and to help induce a trance-like state. You can try GhostTube Lens for yourself using the links below, but now, let's jump into investigating.
Does it look good?
Looks good.
Sick!
Alright, I'm about to put these headphones on.
Shout out, yep, or ready when you're ready.
Okay, I'm ready.
Right, so we had someone talking to us earlier. Are you still here?
Beach.
Is this the same person we spoke to before?
Claimant.
That's weird, 'cause that's sort of like going to court or something. Did you get charged with something, or were you defended in court? Tell me about that.
Look again.
Where am I looking?
Baby.
When she said baby, the tripwire just went off. Someone's here with me now. What about a baby? I actually think one of the stories is that people have reported hearing babies crying upstairs or on the upper levels. What can you tell me about that?
A man came into me telling me he was hearing a baby crying through the jail. So it's 2 men on 2 separate occasions have heard a baby crying.
Is this
These cuffs.
okay? Relevant.
Talk.
I'm talking. I'm trying to have a conversation with you. What about the cuffs?
What's yours?
My name is Jared. That's Amy. What's yours? What's your name? We've put out a bunch of stuff down here for you. Are you able to go up to that and interact with it? It'll change colours. It'll let us know that you're here.
Gift.
I don't really have a gift for you right now. What can you tell me about this place, this room? Right now it's decked out like a ship, but it hasn't always been like that, has it?
Take her.
Where do you want me to take her? Amy?
Women.
I've heard women aren't allowed up here normally. Can you tell me why?
Pass.
Okay. Okay, you don't want to tell me why. Can you tell me something about yourself?
Let them go. Scratch.
Scratch? Why did you say that for? Hey? Why did you say scratch? You've got this whole building to roam. Why are you roaming up here?
Vomit. Piss.
Ew. Why did you say that for?
You just take.
I'm not taking anything. I'm going to step into here, which is now the captain's quarters, but can you tell me about this room?
You do it.
I'm looking at something. Can you tell me what I'm looking
trying
at?
to eat her. Out.
Oh, do you not want me in here? Okay. I think I heard Amy just say out, so maybe something doesn't want me in there. Why can't I go in that room? Oh, tripwire. Why can't I go in that room?
We're told.
I feel like I've got someone up here that's
No.
telling me off and telling me what to do.
I will tell her.
Well, can't you tell her? Who's in charge here anyway? It's so weird. When I went in that room, I feel like I was getting a lot of sort of...
He's here.
Who's here? Tell me. It's this person, whoever this person is.
At the back.
Oh my God. Where's the back in this room? I don't know what's the front and what's the back. Am I heading towards it now? That's where the guy is seen too, in the corner. I'm gonna look behind this camera here. I just got goosebumps as well. My God.
Jared.
Yeah. I've got goosebumps and I'm in the corner where she said to go and she just said my name. I'm here. Who's here with me?
Yep.
Guys, I'm just gonna point this other camera in the corner here so we've got eyes on it.
Heart.
I'm pointing the camera there. Can you tell me, is there someone standing there now?
It's the opposite.
The opposite, oh, it's the opposite corner. All right, hang on a sec. I'm coming. This is really insane actually. Okay, the corner behind Amy. Yep. I'm looking there now. Who's there now? Can you go up to the devices next to the lady to let me know that you want us to leave or that you don't feel comfortable or that you're even here? If you do, they'll let us know that you're here.
We won't go there.
Why? Oh, come on, I asked nicely. Jesus.
You put it in there.
Yeah, I put them there so that we could try and talk to you. Can you tell me who lurks in the corners and why? You said before he's here. Who were you talking about?
Poison.
What about poison? Is that how you died, or were you charged with poisoning somebody? Like what does that mean?
Calm down.
I'm calm. You're the one that's been telling me to get out of the room, to leave, to stop, or whatever you said before. Like, I'm the one that's calm. You're the one that seems to have a problem.
Whiskey.
Whiskey. We had that word downstairs. We don't have any whiskey here for you. It's weird that they're saying whiskey as well. Because like Irish whiskey, like it's weird that they're not saying other alcohols.
Leave.
Leave. So you do want me to leave?
Don't.
Don't. Okay, I'm not leaving. We're here to talk to you, so we're not really going anywhere.
It's torture here.
You can roam the halls. You don't have to stay in this room. Why do you stay in this room? Actually, maybe they find this room safe because this was like the chapel. I guess I'd rather be in
It's
it.
down below. I treat the boys.
You treat the boys. So you worked here then. What's down below though? That is so weird. That could be talking about the cells. It could be talking about dungeon. Could be talking about any of the rooms we've walked you through tonight because we're on the top floor right now. We're in the attic. Which room are you referring to? What's below? You look after the boys?
Take them. He's nervous.
I'm actually surprised. I mean, I was when I was in the corner and I had goosebumps, but I'm actually surprisingly calm right now. I'm not nervous right now.
It's like someone going, ah.
That's weird. I don't know what to make of that.
Giddy.
Giddy.
Body.
Can you interact with some of these?
Black.
I appreciate you talking to us, but can you interact with some of these devices just so I know that this isn't a coincidence and that it is someone here? They'll make noise, they'll light up, they'll change colour.
We're coming.
Yeah, come on. Anyone can, just step up. What do you think of the fake ship being here anyway? They've converted this from a chapel into a ship now. How do you feel about that?
We're dead here.
Not a fan of the ship. Got it. Who's we? How many of you?
Oh. Please. You dirty pig.
I think she said that with an Irish accent as well. You dirty pig. Are you calling me that? You don't need to be angry at me. Like, I'm a friend. I mean, we're friends. We're here to talk to you. We're not here to
give up.
Tripwire just came away from Amy. Thanks for lighting that up. I did ask it to light it up before as well. How many people are in this space now?
Who?
Well, not us two, the people we're talking to. Not her and not me. How many people?
I'm feeling like there's a face here.
Ooh.
Deaf. This is Amy. Am I seeing deaf?
That's really a weird thing to describe. There's some do say
You'll pay for that later.
See more into the realm or...
Cut into them.
I've heard someone up here doesn't like the ladies being up here. Blood.
Birth.
We got the word baby before. Can you tell me about the birth, about the baby? Why would there be a baby in a place like this?
Not the ship.
You don't want me on the
Grave.
ship? I'm off the ship now.
Below.
The imaginary ship. You're going to follow me? Where do you want me to go? And I'll lead you there. Tell me where you want me to go and I'll lead.
There's no direction.
You don't care where I go? That's like a direct response then. You don't care where I go? Okay.
Something's happening. He got me. He's there.
Where? I've got goosebumps now. Where is he? Can you describe where in relation to me he is?
Amy.
That's her name, yes. That's her name.
It's right there.
Where? I've actually got goosebumps right now. Like head to toe.
Kill him.
I'm not going to be killing anyone.
Might have heard the C word.
Okay, that's been appropriate. Do I have your permission to go downstairs into the hold? What's down there?
This is Jack.
Jack! Ooh, we get a name. What are you in Wicklow for, Jack?
It's always cool to get a name through on a paranormal investigation. Jack is relevant, though we did not know this at the time, as the name hadn't been produced in my own research on this venue or during our interviews and talks with staff. However, I have discovered an article dated to 2010 which describes a spirit named Jack haunting the jail. He is said to be an old jailer who has the power to move objects around. Additionally, the article states that Jack is a more aggressive presence and particularly does not like women. Again, interesting, as we were in an area where women tend to feel unwelcome.
This is pretty, Is that crying?
The individual. I've been here before.
You've been to jail before?
Listen.
This was just... I'm listening.
Tell her. What? Tell her.
You tell her I'm listening.
It's 999.
999.
It just
Don't know what that means, 999. Sorry. You have to be more specific.
Yeah. Crap.
Okay.
Spirits.
Can you go up to that lady in the chair there and tap her on the shoulder?
The monster.
And tell me about the monster. Is this a person that's in jail with you?
Water.
You want some water? I do have some water downstairs.
Child. Take blood.
Okay, this is taking a dark turn now.
Here, Jared pulled me out of my trance, and I began to describe to him feeling as though I had continuously seen a face right beside me throughout this session. So we decided to swap places for a short while to see if we could capture any similar or different activity.
Okay, you've got a new person to talk to now. Thank you for sharing all that you did with me. I feel like there's a few people here, or at least a few people who are coming through to communicate.
Love her.
Who do you love? I don't want to assume it's me. Can you say a name of the person that you love?
Here. Sounded like the voice that asked for whiskey downstairs.
Would you drink some whiskey if I offered you some?
He's over there.
Where? In the corner? Oh, I got chills. When you say he is over there, who is he?
In the room.
In this room right in front of me? Is that correct? Okay, tripwire. Is it okay if I go in the room with him?
Why are you interested?
Okay, my name is Amy, and this is what I do. I go around to places like this and talk to people.
It takes energy.
It does. It takes a lot of energy to talk, doesn't it? Now, I know it takes a lot of energy, and I appreciate anything that you can do for me. Maybe you can take energy from these devices, like the one on the floor here. Going near that shows me that you're here.
You see?
I did see you before, yeah, with the purple lights.
You don't.
Okay, I don't see you, no. I've heard that you show yourself as a shadow. Can you tell me something about yourself? Can I... Okay, thank you. Can you go up to one of the red lights next to that man? His name's Jared? Okay.
Hiding.
You're hiding? What are you hiding from? I heard something come from back here.
Can you?
I can hear something here, yeah. What's that? Who's that?
Unable to pull anything more out of this session, we moved over to the cell block to rig multiple cameras and reach out to the spirits using GhostTube Vox.
Alright, so my name's Jared, this is Amy again. Is there anyone here with us now? Can you tell us if you'd like to speak with us, perhaps? Oh, this is the cell. This is the pre-cell.
If there's someone here, maybe you can use your voice to talk to us. Father Owen McPhee. I feel like that said hear something.
We were here at this cell earlier and someone played with our devices and actually caused us a bit of trouble. Can you tell us about that? Like, who was that?
Heard a click down here.
Australia.
Australia! That is relevant because A, we're from Australia, but B, the convicts were deported to Australia. Okay, yeah, we're from Australia.
Were you transported?
That is incredible. Can you tell us about Australia?
Never have a left. Yes, it me.
Never have I left, and then yes, it's me.
Yes, that's exactly, yeah. Should I go in?
Yeah, go in.
I'm walking into the cell with the priest. Can you tell me about this cell?
Yeah.
Nana? Do I keep hearing Nana?
Nana? That was creepy. Hey,
Why are you grabbing his
I'm
head?
giving him a blessing.
Oh, is that a thing?
Yes. I'm blessing the priest who was convicted. Okay, I don't think he appreciated that.
As we've been doing that, I've kind of got a few corner of the eye moments, and the corner of the eye moments are cool because they're happening where the Pink Lady is in, which we actually have monitored by an SLS camera. Whether it's my eyes playing tricks on me with the light and the shadow, it just felt like there was some movement in there.
Although our GhostTube SLS camera didn't pick up any specific movement, we did capture 3 different figures in this space during the 53 seconds prior to me commenting I'd seen movement in that area. 2 of the figures look larger, with one looking particularly small. This is interesting as this space was previously used as a school and children are said to haunt the area. But another noteworthy point about these figures is that they all seem to appear elevated off the ground, just as our guide had earlier described the apparition he had seen here.
All right.
Can you tell me where to go? What cell would you like me to go to? What cell?
Is that?
I heard this end. Can you tell me about life here at Wicklow Jail? Okay, I know life probably wasn't great here, but I want to hear about you, your story. I've heard people have stories come out of cell 13 a lot.
It's on the door.
It's on the door? Does it say it's on the door?
I'll go in. Hello. How's that smell?
Oh yeah, the hand soap smell. What can we smell right now? What can we smell right now?
Can you see this? Can you tell me what I'm pointing at?
The chest.
I heard her chest.
Yeah.
I'm not pointing at a chest, but I have seen chests around here. Or it could mean like her chest. Yeah.
There were definitely chests upstairs in the ship, like makeshift chests. That's sort of weird. Can you tell us which cell was yours, perhaps?
The end.
Very.
The end. Oh, there's 2 ends it could be. It could be this end, which heads down into the dungeon, or that end where we've got the other infrared camera down the end there. What do you reckon? I actually think there's a cell down here that don't people see a man walk into all the time?
Number 9.
I'm heading to cell number 9. Apparently someone's been seen here a lot. Can you tell me about who that is?
It's not.
It's not.
It's not.
So there's not somebody here in cell 9. Gonna take over for a bit.
I'm in touch.
But just say something about touch.
Yeah. Just as I go to talk to them, it's like something touch. Do you want to touch me? Can you? I have a request though. Can you touch my hair and make it move? You want to touch? Come on. What about this side? Smells different over here as well.
Yeah, almost like chalky or something.
That one stinks.
Room number 4.
We saw the same.
Oh,
We saw the same.
oh, it's all the same.
Anne Devlin and her father.
Why does it smell in here? Are you English or Irish? Okay, we've just made it up to the 2nd floor, which we're not sure, but we felt like you wanted us to come up here. And yes, we are filming. Is that okay?
South,
Under. Something people.
Okay, so this one here's the spooky one. Nigel doesn't like this room. Can you tell me why? What do you think about Nigel? Who's in cell number 27?
I heard a tap up here.
What was that? I heard the tap, but I also heard like something move up there. I'm coming in cell number 27. Who's in this cell?
That's all.
You can talk to me.
Is John here?
John? Is that one of the names that Nigel's had?
Yeah.
Is there a John in here?
Yeah.
Yes!
Good!
John? Did you hear that? That was
Yes.
a direct response.
John, okay.
Okay, John, we're in here. We're here to talk to you. What can you tell us about yourself, John? How old are you, John?
John is the name that they've had associated with this cell, the only name. And that just confirmed.
John, what was your crime like? What were you charged with?
I'm told with a meat.
Yeah, we're talking to you.
Yeah, we're talking to you.
We weren't able to pull out anything more of interest, so we made our way back down to the dungeon to conduct another experiment, which saw Jared wear noise amplifying headphones to hear potential EVPs live in the moment, along with GhostTube Lens to digitally scry, while GhostTube Seer could show him images based off of environmental readings interpreted by AI.
And just like that, we're in the dungeon.
Oh,
We're also in complete pitch black darkness.
I'm also wearing noise amplifying headphones.
Yeah, good luck with that. That's going to be scary as in there.
So when you come up to this device in my head, you can make it select words and generate images.
I'm also going to roll GhostTube Original. So if the same person is down here, you might want some whiskey, or we can just offer you company at this point.
Come on, spirits. I'm sitting on a really uncomfortable metal rod sticking up my ass to talk to you right now. Please make it worth my while.
Can you show us what you see? What is it like here for you? I'm just going to sit down. Would you like to come and take a seat with me?
Oh, picture. Ugh.
What?
Man's face, really weird wide eyes, and he's got stone bricks around his face. Like he's peeking through a hole in the stone brick wall and he's like, really weird. No moustache, no facial features, just like very blank face with a big mouth and really big eyes looking through a hole in a stone brick wall. This person looks like they're desperate to get out.
Okay.
They looked they didn't look happy, they didn't look sad, they didn't look angry, they look like someone that's been in here too long. It's the best way I can describe it.
Maybe that's the person that growls at people. Anyone that was in here and was subjected to what happened here, I'm sure it was, pretty taxing on you as a human. And maybe like them being bricked in is almost like being walled in alive, becoming part of the building.
Yeah.
Is there anything you would like the world to know about you? Are you innocent? Do you show remorse?
What the hell was that?
I'm not sure.
There was something down here with us just then.
Yep. There was a noise down by this secondary camera here. Don't know what that was.
Can you show us what used to happen down here? We heard some bad things happen down here.
We did not document anything else of interest in the dungeon, so we moved back up to part of the former chapel where we'd earlier heard a loud noise to conduct an EVP session.
My name is Amy and this is Jared, and we really feel like we were talking to someone down here earlier. Can we have your name, please?
Someone told me not to go into the captain's room upstairs earlier on in the night. Someone didn't want me there. Can you tell me why?
We asked a number of questions and replayed the recording, but didn't capture a single moment of interest. But just as we were packing up, our REM pod triggered.
Keep rolling. Oh, now it goes off. Proximity.
Thank you.
Because our REM pod had just triggered, signifying someone might be around, we decided to spend a little more time in this space doing a sweep with our thermal imaging camera. And when we made it back upstairs to the former priest quarters, we would capture something quite strange.
So I went to that corner while you were doing the Estes because something said he's over there or something. But then when I went over there, it said the opposite. So I think it meant this corner. Maybe this corner here?
This is the corner that made me feel weird earlier. Are you here? What the heck?
Why is it flashing like that? What the fuck?
I've never seen it do that. What the heck? Hello? Is there someone here?
Whoa! What was that? There was a person just standing there. You just caught that. I swear a person just walked into frame on that thermal and then walked off.
No.
I swear.
It's acting so trippy.
This piece of footage looks pretty weird, and it was a chilling moment for us upon reviewing what we had captured. It does look like a flash of a man-shaped figure comes through the frame before darting off again. I can't say for sure this was paranormal, but this is the place a shadow man has been sighted. So what do you make of this footage?
Creepy. There's
someone in that corner, I swear. We've never caught anything that compelling on the thermal, ever. That is amazing. There's someone in that corner. I'm not sleeping up here.
And with that, we split up to sleep alone within Wicklow Gaol, also known as the Gates to Hell. Jared would spend the rest of the night alone in the attic, while I would descend and sleep alone in the dungeon. I'm not quite sure which is worse, so leave a comment where you would prefer to sleep.
I sort of feel bad for Amy because she's going into the dungeon. But having said that though, I'm in the attic, and I did say I didn't want to sleep up here because that is where we saw that figure with the thermal imaging camera. I thought I heard his footsteps while I was setting up a still.
I was in the hold and I heard footsteps up here where me and Amy just captured that figure on the thermal camera. And I'm skitzing out a bit because I'm on my own, so I'm just rolling everything because just in case. Oh, I just saw a weird orb thing. Let's just pretend that's dust.
We had that crazy Esther session. So, you know, honestly, I actually think we've both pulled the short straw tonight. I reckon my room definitely smells worse than the dungeon. Fingers crossed nothing happens. Because I actually feel like we've had a pretty eventful night tonight, so wish me luck.
It's so quiet down here, but it smells bad. Making a note of that. I did just take my boots off though. It doesn't smell like foot though. I did find these random pillows that I brought down here to buffer me from the freaking concrete floor. And I just heard a noise. Now I'm shaking a bit. Oh. Hello?
James?
Oh my god, it is pitch dark in here. I'm just rolling GhostTube also, so if anyone wants to communicate with me, feel free to wake me up, you can.
What the f was that? I've got these mannequins with you. Third time I feel like my leg's being pulled. 3 times it's like moved a bit. Thought maybe it was gravity, but then it happened 3 times. Is there someone in the room? Just watch my leg. Just did it again, my leg just moved again. It's like the sleeping bag's being pulled. Just doing it again.
And that was our night at the terrifying and very haunted Wicklow Jail, the gates to hell. If you watched this far and are still wondering what the EVP we captured earlier sounded like to me, I believe it says, "We're near ya," which is pretty disturbing.
How do you feel about us being up here?
Adding to this voice are all our amazing captures at this location, from the strange thermal image, the countless noises, and that disturbing seer picture in the dungeon. I'd say this is one very active jail. So if you've enjoyed this investigation, please don't forget to hit like, leave a comment, and make sure to subscribe with all notifications turned on for this channel, as we've got some epic videos coming up, from haunted forests to medieval castles, and places so dark they've been covered in ritualistic marks. You won't want to miss the next paranormal investigation on AmysCrypt.
Crypt Keepers! Morning, and we might both be zombies. I don't know. You are okay?
Don't touch me.
We need to get out of the prison. We don't have anywhere to go today. It's messed up. I don't even know what to say. That was a cool night though, right? It was scary, but it was really, really cool. I think that we got some really good responses through GhostTube, and I think that Nigel, one of the people who works here, uses GhostTube here a lot, so I feel like the spirits are already familiar with that tool. That's why we got such good responses, which is cool.
I reckon that figure on the thermal is going to be cool. I reckon
Yeah,
it looks cool at this moment, so I reckon in replay it's going to look really good.
I need to look into that some more. Yeah, that's pretty epic. We've never really caught anything on the thermal camera before.
You just got a figure and you're like, huh?
I was so tired.
Huh?
Yeah, my legs hurt from sleeping on the floor, but whatever, we'll find a bed soon.
I think I had a nail in my back last night. Because I got up this morning and was doing my sleeping bag up and I stepped on a nail.
We got our tennis, don't worry guys. But I do want to say thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you did, please remember to like, comment, share and subscribe. That really, really helps us out. If you want to read more about this place, head to AmysCrypt.com, and we post bonus content on Patreon and my YouTube members that are linked below. We actually filmed out here for them.
We go show them the treadwheel. So go check it out.
Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time.